So I'm currently 9 months out post-grad, and I'm about to be traveling back home to my parents' house for the first time since Thanksgiving. I moved in with my boyfriend very quickly after graduating. He moved to New York City in 2021. At this point, we had been dating since 2018. So I've spent the past couple of years between the summer of 2021 and May 2023, essentially living in what I call a New York City free trial. The previous area I lived in for college was within driving distance of New York City. It was definitely quite a road trip, and throughout the entire time I was in college, I would come to visit New York City on the weekends. And so over the years, I had very slowly accumulated my stuff at my boyfriend's apartment. So the transition from living in college to living in New York City wasn't a big transition like it would typically be. And one of my friends grew up nearby the area where my parents live, so we're taking the road trip together. This is my second time road tripping with her. One of the things I'm going to be doing traveling back to my parents' house is actually applying for a passport. I haven't done it yet because they actually still have my birth certificate, and you need proof of your existence to, apply for a passport. One of my big life goals is actually to travel internationally. I've never been able to do that during my childhood or early adulthood because it was never financially in the cards. The big trips that I remember taking during my childhood were 1 to Disney World and 2 to a cruise. These happened when I were 10 and 12 respectively. I know I have a photo album of pictures from both of these trips back in my parents' house. I took a lot of pictures during both of these trips. My entire life, ever since I was a child, I remember being really into cameras. The first camera I had wasn't truly a camera. It was an Apple iPod Nano. It definitely wasn't the first generation of iPods, but they had a tiny, horrible quality camera. 2 specific memories I have from Disney World. One, they have this ride called Soarin'. Imagine it's like the floor of an airplane, but without the ceiling. So there's rows and columns of seats, and they set you in front of this, what looks like an enormous movie theater screen, like bigger than a typical movie theater. The imagery is like a bird flying through the sky. As the bird tilts its body, the physical construction of the ride tilts to mimic the flight of the bird. I do remember the wait for this ride being 2 hours long. I was 10 though, but that was definitely my favorite ride in all of Disney. If you bring a lanyard full of pins, people who work at Disney also have a lanyard full of pins, and you can essentially swap pins with the people who work there. I think I remember trying to collect all the princess pins, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, the whole Disney cast. When my sister and I were really young, we had themed bedrooms, so mine were themed after the Disney princesses and hers was themed after Tinkerbell. We carried this into our Disney adventures. I don't remember what ride this was on, but I was on a roller coaster, and I think it was a smaller roller coaster. I think what happened was I was wearing a tan hat on this ride, and the wind just sucked my hat right off of the roller coaster. I remember looking all around the perimeter of the ride for my hat, but of course, since it was a roller coaster, there were so many different areas it could have gone to, and I remember I couldn't find the hat. And so after looking for maybe an hour, I started crying, and one of the Disney employees noticed this and ended up giving me a gift card to a Disney shop to pick out whatever hat I wanted. I think they gave me $40 to spend on a hat, and they also gave me free ice cream. My grandfather was with us during both of these trips, and I remember she kept stealing my grandfather's cane. She thought it was hilarious. My grandfather did not find it as hilarious. We went on the cruise when I was 12. This was a big deal. I remember my family had been planning this for years at this point. I grew up in the Northeast, so it gets very cold, and taking a trip to the Caribbean when it's January and you're used to, sub 30 weather, and all of a sudden the weather is beautiful, it was great. The interesting thing about this trip is we actually almost missed our flight. We were late to the airport, and I remember my grandfather was on the flight. We were not on the flight yet, and we were running through the airport to try to get on the flight before they left without us. Can you imagine? My poor grandfather would have been alone on this flight without us. I think my most distinct memory about this trip, 1, almost missing it to begin with, but 2, the beaches. The only beaches I'd ever been to prior to this were beaches in the Northeast. And these beaches were they were so clean. The water was beautiful. I remember one of the beaches we went to, there was so many fish swimming around. I was actually a little freaked out by this. My sister loved it though. So those were the main trips that I went on during my childhood and early adulthood. We never really did vacations that often just because of the cost. I would say every couple of years we would take a trip to the beach. I'd really love to visit Europe. I've always wanted to go to Europe. I don't currently see any particular point in time at the moment where there's any opportunity for me to travel internationally. But the first step to traveling internationally is being legally able to leave your country. I'm gonna finish my makeup. I'm almost done. And we're gonna take the pictures. They want a neutral facial expression with both eyes open and mouth closed, taken directly in front. I think I'm gonna do it right in front of this wall because I think this has the best lighting. What'd you say?
How it started, how it ended.
Also, look at the bottom. Like, this is the nice one. That is absolutely destroyed. I'm now fully packed and ready to go. That's my stuff in the background. This is the part that I'm dreading the most. Basically, it takes a very long time, relatively, to move a very small distance. I take the train from where I currently am to the Times Square train station. I go through Port Authority. I get on a bus at Port Authority, and that bus takes me into New Jersey. Then she's gonna pick me up once I'm in New Jersey. I'm usually used to leaving on the weekend, so I think it might be a little bit more crowded than I'm used to, so I'm gonna give myself extra time.
This is Times Square, 42nd Street. Connection is available to the Port Authority bus terminal.
Got off the corner, we're now waiting. The drive actually went really well. I don't know why, but every time I go on road trips or take a plane, it just knocks me out. There were no issues with the driving, no traffic. It basically went as good as it could possibly go. There's a really pretty sunset. I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm so tired. We're gonna go do the passport thing tomorrow morning. I'm leaving midday on Sunday, so I really only have one day to get this right. I'll see you tomorrow. It took us exactly an hour and 26 minutes. Puppies! Puppies, hello!
Why is she so little?
Okay, yeah, she hates it. Oh, bye! The passport thing is completely taken care of. They said they're gonna mail it out today, and it should be ready in about 10 weeks, which would be around the beginning of May. Not that I need it any specific time in general. I don't have any plans to travel anytime soon. I want to be able to go if at any time in the future I have the opportunity to. I need a coffee because I woke up really early today to do this and I haven't had a coffee and my head is pounding. I found my photo album from Disney and from the cruise. There are other people in some of the photos, so I might just not show some or cover their faces, but you'll get the general idea. These are the lanyards that we were wearing, but this was before we started collecting the pins. This was me at Epcot. I remember thinking when I saw it from afar that it was essentially like a decoration, but it's actually a building. When you go, you can also take photos of all the characters. So obviously this one's Little Mermaid, but I think there are more in here too. I honestly have no idea who that's supposed to be. I think this is one of the first photos we took. My sister's in this photo, so I'm covering it. But this is the hat that I was talking about. This was another one. This was actually my favorite part of Disney World. The entire thing was themed, even down to what's inside the refrigerator, which I thought was interesting. This is the picture of the inside of Minnie Mouse's refrigerator where she gets this whole thing of cheese for $2. Does that say 5 cents? Oh my god. This one was taken at our hotel. I took all of these photos, actually. Cute. This was on the cruise. This is a picture of my sister, so I'm covering it up. They had us sleep in little bunk beds like this. My sister was on the top bunk and I was on the bottom bunk. Here's a picture from the beach. I took that photo. I was very proud of myself for that photo. I think this was St. Thomas, but I might be wrong. I thought there were a lot more pictures in there, but I guess not. The plan is still to leave tomorrow around 12 or 1 p.m. I did leave all of my books here, so I think I might reread Twilight. I just found my old iPod. It took me a while to find a charger because since it's an iPod Nano, it's the really old iPod. It uses the old Apple charger, the really wide one. I finally charged it, and it has so many videos on there from when I was 10 years old, and I talked to the camera like it was a vlogging camera, right? Like I would introduce myself. There was one video where I think I was 12 or 13, and I was doing a makeup tutorial, and it was during a road trip, but it was so dark. I started watching these videos and I started tearing up. Looking back on it, I wish I had taken more videos. That's when I really wanted to start my YouTube channel. These were like my practice vlogging YouTube videos before I started actually making YouTube videos. I had a video doing a little OOTD for the next day because I had my mannequin, which is in the corner in front of me, and I used to plan out my outfits the day before and I would dress the mannequin and I'd make quick little videos saying, you know, this is the outfit that I'm gonna wear. Okay, the shirt with pink jacket and like purplish pants with this necklace and that charm bracelet. Hi, so this is my room. Hi, this is me. I'm just gonna take you a little tour around my room. Okay, this is my calendar. It's Taylor Swift because I like Taylor Swift. To be fair, the outfits were not cute. They were pretty bad. 10 years later, I'm still making these videos, except now my outfit videos are TikToks and not, you know, iPod Nano videos. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Wait, I can't see.
Oh wait.
I'm
Oh wow.
Oh my god, what if I roll off?
No, it's gonna be okay. I guess we survived.
Take